I'm Sandra, 35. The other day, I was sitting at my desk, lost in thought, when the shrill ring of my phone shattered the silence. It was my lawyer, Thompson. Sandra, your mom and half-brother are trying to appeal the restraining order, he said, his voice grave. The words hit me like a punch to the gut, transporting me back to that fateful autumn evening. I've built a life in Miami that I'm incredibly proud of. As a senior software engineer at a leading tech firm, I've climbed the corporate ladder and am earning more than I ever dared to dream. But it wasn't always this way. My story begins in Detroit when I was just 10 years old. My parents, Lisa and Tom, were like oil and water. Lisa was flighty and impulsive, always chasing the next big thing, while Tom was steady, reliable, and the rock of our family. One day, Lisa announced she was leaving. She said she'd found someone who could give her the glamorous life she'd always wanted. With that, she packed a suitcase and walked out, leaving Tom and me to pick up the pieces. Tom worked as a mechanic at a local garage. He'd come home every night, his hands black with grease and his body exhausted. But he never once complained. He did everything he could to keep a roof over our heads and food on the table. The money was tight, and we often had to make do with less. There were times when the electricity bill went unpaid, and the fridge was nearly empty. At 14, I decided I couldn't just sit back and watch my dad struggle. I got a job at a local grocery store, stocking shelves after school. I'd come home late, my feet aching, but I knew every dollar I earned was helping. I also tutored younger kids in math, using my love for numbers to earn a little extra cash. School became my escape. I buried myself in my studies, determined to get out of Detroit and build a better life. My high school counselor saw my potential and helped me apply for scholarships. At 18, I got accepted into a top-tier university in Miami with a full-ride scholarship for computer science. It was a dream come true, but I knew the road ahead would be tough. In college, I worked multiple jobs to cover my living expenses. I was a barista at a coffee shop, a research assistant in the computer science department, and I even cleaned offices on weekends. It was a never-ending cycle of work and study, but I was driven by the promise of a better future. After graduation, I landed a job at a tech startup in Miami. I worked hard, putting in long hours and taking on challenging projects. Within a few years, I'd made a name for myself in the industry and was offered a senior position at a well-known tech company. I never forgot about my dad. As soon as I started earning a decent salary, I sent money home to help him. I paid off his debts and even helped him buy a new car. Every time we talked on the phone, his pride in me was palpable. But then one autumn evening, there was a knock on my door. I opened it to find Lisa standing there with my half-brother, Jake, who was 20. Lisa had a fake smile on her face, and Jake was looking around my apartment with a sense of entitlement. "Hello, Sandra. It's been so long," Lisa said, her voice dripping with false warmth. "Jake's about to start college, and we could really use your help. His tuition is $80,000, and we're struggling to make ends meet." I was stunned. After all these years of no contact, she shows up asking for money? Jake chimed in, "Yeah, and I need a new laptop and a decent car to get around campus." I was furious. I told them I needed time to think, but inside, I was seething. The next day, I met them at a busy Miami cafe. Lisa started spinning the same old lies, saying that Tom had kept her from me. I knew it was all a lie. Tom had always hoped she'd come back and be a part of our lives. I stood my ground, telling them I wasn't going to be their A-team. Lisa's face hardened, and she started yelling at me, calling me selfish. Jake just sat there, rolling his eyes. Things got even worse when I found out they'd hacked into my dad's email to get information about my job and salary. I was filled with a mix of anger and betrayal. I called the police, and they left, threatening me. I reached out to Thompson, my lawyer. He helped me file for a restraining order, and after a long and grueling process, the court granted it. But now, hearing that they're trying to appeal it, the old pain and anger resurface. I know I can't let them back into my life. I've built a new family here in Miami, my friends, my colleagues, and my dad. They're the ones who have supported me through thick and thin, and I'm determined to protect them and myself from Lisa and Jake's schemes. I called my dad after the lawyer's call. His voice was calm as he said, "Don't let them get to you, Sandra. You've come so far, and you're stronger than they think." His words gave me the strength I needed. I'm also seeing a therapist, Dr. Emily Davis, who's helping me deal with the trauma of Lisa's abandonment. Through our sessions, I'm learning to let go of the guilt and anger that I've carried for so long. Inspired by my own journey, I've started a small foundation to help kids from underprivileged backgrounds pursue careers in tech. It's my way of giving back and making sure that other kids don't have to go through what I did. Family, I've learned, isn't defined by blood. It's about the people who love and support you, who stand by you in the darkest of times. And I'm lucky to have found that kind of family here in Miami. If you've ever faced a similar family betrayal, I'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment below and share your experiences. And don't forget to subscribe for more real life stories.